Hey guys, what is up? As you can see, I'm stuck in the car. Um, it's raining in Miami. I was gonna go run some errands on the beach, and when I say the beach, I mean South Beach. And I'm here, but it's pouring rain. I wanted to go run into a couple of stores and pick up some things, and I was gonna record on my way to the store outside, sunny. But here we are, stuck in the car because it's raining. So I figured, you know what? Let me just go ahead and record this video now. Anyways, how's everyone doing? Hopefully the sound quality is okay. I should be able to edit this inside Final Cut. But I wanted to hop on here. Well, A, it's been a minute. And B, I actually got a new tip. It's very bold, but I got a new tip of how, when you are in whatever location you're in freestyling, you can reach out to potential guys, sugar daddies, whatever. You can reach out to them and, basically say hello. I don't know how else to put it, but I was actually talking with this guy, and he told me that this happened, but I'm going to share this tip inside Patreon. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's not for the faint of heart. It's for women who are bold, because this is a very bold move. But I'm going to put this inside Patreon, so you can go to Patreon and get the tip. Patreon.com/T.S.E.G. It's only $1 a month to join, and your support helps me with the show, admin costs, and all that good stuff. But anyways, so catch me inside Patreon, and I will share the tips. Toodaloo!
You are now listening to The Sexy Escort Guide, discussing everything fascinating about the world of paid companionship. And now, here is your sexy host, Exotic Vivian.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 54 of the Sexy Escort Guide podcast. I am your host, Exotic Vivian, and joining me today as my special guest is the beautiful and talented Passport Cutty. Cutty is an author, blogger, host, and all-around social media maven whom has gained her popularity from her unfiltered, uncensored, and unapologetic conversations about lifestyle and relationships. Her commentary focuses on self-growth, finances, travel, and personal style to her vast and loyal following across multiple social media platforms. Her latest book, The M in Man is for Money, is advice for women on how to handle men concerning money in dating and relationships. She offers tips on conditioning men to foot the dinner bill to the household bills. She explicitly gives her advice to women on how to tailor certain relationships to benefit from monetarily. Hello, Cutty. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh my God! Finally,
Yes.
I've been hunting this lady down.
I'm pretty bad with scheduling. I'm just now starting to get a little on track.
Look, it's fine. I'm just glad you're here. I've been following you. I think the first time I saw you was on Baller Alert. You took over their Instagram or something.
I did Snapchat.
And then you were like, well, I don't really do Snapchat, but you took over.
Oh yeah, they posted it on their page.
Yeah, you took over their Instagram or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, this girl is basically saying everything that I believe in. So I followed you, and then you had the podcast with Tahoe, bless his heart.
Yeah.
And then and then now here we are. But for anything about you, please give them a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are today.
Okay, so I'm from New York, from the Bronx.
Whoop whoop.
I grew up in New York, born and raised, and I'm still there actually.
Okay.
I actually been a little Catholic school girl my whole entire life.
This
Surprising.
explains so much.
They always say that the Catholic school girls are the worst, right? I'm
Well,
like,
actually, any religious people, like people that were raised in religion,
yeah,
end up being just terrible.
right. But the funny
But
thing
in a
is,
good way. In a
yeah,
good way.
I'm not very religious. It's like I was in the Catholic. I literally went to Catholic school all the way up to college. I even went to
Oh
Catholic college,
wow.
but it was more about just the structure, the discipline, the safety, more than the actual religion. So
Yeah.
that didn't really translate for me as much as people think
Well,
that did.
the thing is, it usually never does. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're the children, and your parents pretty much put you in stuff, and you just
Yeah.
kind of have to go with it because you're
Yeah.
not an adult.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. And then when you become an adult, you make your own decisions. But,
Exactly.
yep.
But I was kind of sheltered growing up, so it was like, because I was so sheltered, I kind of damn near created like this little alter ego, because it was like I couldn't do anything,
Okay, Beyonce.
Seriously, like I couldn't really do anything, couldn't go anywhere. My mother was like super, super strict. And it was like I couldn't really hang outside, so then you gotta start sneaking outside. You just gotta start
Oh,
sneaking and
Lord.
do everything, because you're not
Tell me about
right.
it.
You're not able to freely just be a teenager, be a child, be a kid, whatever. So my whole entire life, I wanted to be an English teacher. Everybody's like,
Okay.
what?
That's random.
I know, so random. I really was always into like writing. When I was a little girl, I used to like take loose leaf and cut it up into little squares, and then staple them together, and then like draw on one side and put a story on the other side.
Aw,
Yeah.
look at you, creative little girl.
I was the
Yeah,
only
I didn't do
child.
any such things. I was playing with Barbies and jumping on trees. Wasn't
I
Yeah.
couldn't go outside, so I couldn't even
Damn,
jump
really?
Not really, no.
Damn.
So I wasn't really able to do all of that. So I had to create all of this stuff in my own world, in my house, like in my, for myself. And then, I was always into English and always into writing, poetry, plays, this, that, whatever. Went to college for creative writing. People used to be like, what are you going to do with that?
Well, you're doing it now.
Exactly. And I even then I didn't see this, like I didn't know what I was going to do. They're like, what are you going to college for creative writing for? I'm like, to write. But I still didn't see me really writing and publishing on the horizon. I just didn't want to read Shakespeare. So that's why I was like, let me not take literature. I don't want to do literature, and I didn't want to do journalism. So I just did that.
Yeah.
But then, like, out of nowhere, my friend, I was probably like around 21. I mean, and the book really starts showing like where the whole Twitter thing came about, and like where my career kind of budded from. But at around 23, I was dealing with this dude, and he went to jail, and I didn't have a job. I wasn't going to school. I wasn't doing anything. I was just kind of not living off of him, but we were just living a real good lifestyle together, and we were like having fun and stuff. And then he went to jail, and I was kind of bored. So my friend was like, you know what? You need to get on Twitter. She was like, Twitter is popping now. She's like, a lot of people are on it. Everybody's engaging and talking.
And what year was this?
This was like 2009 or 10.
So like just when the whole social media thing.
Yep. Yeah,
okay,
right.
So
right
you got in on the ground floor.
Yeah, I did.
Cool. Okay.
So it was like 2008, 2009 for sure. And I got on, and it was like my first opportunity being able to engage with people. Because it's like, there was social media platforms prior to that. But just the setup,
MySpace.
Yeah, the setup and the format wasn't the same. Like even with MySpace, I was on MySpace, but how the page was, it was like it wasn't as interactive as Twitter, like a whole timeline of people talking and responding to each other. So this was the first time that I was actually able to interact and engage with people. And on top of that, I started like joining in on the trending topics. And I was now able to say like all the witty things that are in my head.
Yeah,
and
whatever
nobody,
you want.
Yeah, but nobody knew me, So I was just a regular girl, stranger just like everybody else. But the things that I would say would stand out, and people would be like, oh, snap, who said that? And
Nice.
so then they started every day. I was like, oh my God, I got 100 followers. Oh my God, I got 200 followers. And then it was like, I tell people
Authentic.
yeah,
Yes.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, I started with 0 followers just like everybody else.
Exactly.
But people don't realize that, they think that, I don't know, they think that you just wake up and have a whole bunch of followers.
Pretty much. Or now you can buy them. So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Everybody wants the shortcut.
Yeah. So it's like, as time goes on, they don't realize that it's genuine, engagement that's really creating these people to like you and talk to you and relate to you, whatever. So during that time, I was in the midst of dating, talking to guys for money, sugar daddies, dealing with guys, traveling, all of this stuff. And I would share like all my experiences, everything I was in a whole bunch of drama, baby mama drama,
wow.
ghetto crazy drama. And I would like post,
so of course it was like your own little Maury Povich situation show going on.
Exactly what was going on. So once I started, and people just found me very entertaining for one reason or another, like if it wasn't about the drama, it was about, me sharing my thoughts about what people thought about what I was going through, or just certain topics. And then the next thing, I was talking about zodiacs, I was talking about traveling. I just had a whole wide range of things that I talked about that one person or another was like, oh, okay, I like her for this or that reason. And then out of nowhere, when you talk about anything that has to do with sex or money, they're like, oh, you're a prostitute, you're a hoe, you're this, you're that, whatever. And so that's how the whole hoe coach thing came about.
So you started coaching hoes, but as we like to say on this show, yes.
But that's not what I was intending to do.
It just kind of naturally happened.
I was just talking about how I dealt with guys or how to deal with guys, and I didn't, I that wasn't my intention, but it just came about. Yeah. So and the moniker came on and everybody started running with it, but I didn't make it up.
Wow, that's cool though. I mean, I'll take it, because there are actually people out here calling themselves hoe mentors. So but you were crowned it before any of that stuff happened.
Yeah, nice. Like that wasn't what I was. That wasn't my intention. That wasn't my goal, and it wasn't. It's funny because I literally just posted an old tweet from 2011 on my page yesterday that I found on Twitter.
I think I might have liked it just now. What was it?
It said, I don't turn girls into hoes. I just get them more cash for ass.
Ew. And people somehow just hate it when women are making money. Wow.
Right.
Can we live? We just want to be happy. Jesus.
Yeah. But during that time for Twitter, when I was talking about, getting money out of guys, that was the number one thing that people were asking me 24/7 in a DM or in an email. Yep. Oh, how you get money from guys? How you get money from guys? How you get money from guys? So basically that's when I started. I was like, I need to just put this in a book.
Perfect. See?
And that's really where it started from. But it took me a long time to like.
Hey, Rome was not built in a day.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And I'm glad that I took a long time, because I got way more experience. Yep. If I would have written it then, it definitely would have made the noise.
Yeah. I forgot who I was watching. I think it was what's the new comedian now that's in everything? Tiffany? Oh, or wait.
Tiffany Haddish?
It's either Tiffany or what's her name on Saturday Night Live? The older black lady.
Leslie.
Leslie Jones. It's either one of them that said they went to Chris Rock for advice. And he basically told them, go out, and because they were really young then, and he was like, go out and live, and you get more content to share. And then they became successful later on in life. It might have been Leslie Jones, but you do need to live life. Like even with this podcast now, I kind of started it because I just felt like we needed a platform, but it's
Yeah.
not like, I'm over here
Yeah.
tooting myself as a,
Yes.
you,
Yeah.
you probably,
Yeah.
you're
No, I
probably
get
better
it.
suited for that. But I mean, but I'm so glad you took the time and you
Yeah.
wrote this book, because I,
Mm-hmm.
I got the first one. I didn't get the reloaded one. Oh, which,
Yeah.
by the way, the book is called
The M and Man is for money.
Perfect. The M and Man is for money. I love the title. I loved everything about it. I
Yeah.
got the first one. So the reloaded one,
It has everything from the first one in the reloaded.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
figured.
more. So
Okay.
if you didn't read the first one, you can just start with the second one.
And it's the same
because
thing.
It's the same thing, but
Yeah.
just I added like 50% more, because when I started going on tour and some of the concerns that the girls were having within their own lives, I was like, you know what? I didn't add that in. Let me add that. Let me add that. So that's why
Perfect.
came out with extended version.
And just sidebar, how did you write the book? Did you just sit down and type on your computer? Did you hire someone to say your words?
Nope. And it's funny because I have a video about this on my page about how I started. One day, my boyfriend didn't come home, and Lord knows where the hell he was. And I'm texting him. I think I woke up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. You realize that he ain't here. You be like, oh, he got me fucked up. So I'm like texting. I literally probably text him for 2-3 hours straight, probably. And they're not going to reply till like 9-10 o'clock when they wake up after being out with whoever, doing whatever. So after a while, I literally looked at the phone and was like, wow, you should be freaking ashamed of yourself. Like, you literally just sat here and wrote a dude for 2 to 3 hours. And these are chapters long. Like, you are just reiterating the same things that you were saying last time over and over and over again. Like, this is a lot of time, energy wasted, whatever. I said, and you talk about you can't write a book. Like, this is crazy. And so from that very moment, I was like, if you could text him all this shit on your freaking phone, you could write this book on your phone. And I went to my notes and started writing the book on my notes. And then I started taking the notes from my phone and sending them to my computer and putting them all together on Word document.
Nice. Wow. It's amazing how life just, brings you to what you're supposed to do. Okay. So have you ever worked in any line of sex work or adult entertainment?
No.
Okay.
It's funny because I do hang out, and I was hanging around a lot of people who were like dancers or did porn and stuff like that. So people always associated that with me. And also I did have a naked picture on the internet.
Ooh.
as my
I didn't see that. You must have taken it down or something.
No, years ago, like when I first started Twitter, I had a naked picture on a lamp.
Damn.
But it was for a nude portfolio from a photographer. It wasn't supposed to be a sexual thing. It was more of an artsy thing.
But you know how people sexualize everything.
Yeah. So that also did get me a lot of followers, because
of course it did.
Now, you didn't see like any body parts. You just saw the silhouette from the side. But I definitely was naked. People saw I was naked, and so that created its own draw, So but people and its own perception that I was, because they considered that lamp to like be a pole. So they thought that I was like trying to emulate like stripping, but I really wasn't. I actually can't dance. I'm actually pretty shy in real life.
I keep telling people it's really not about your dancing, but because I used to strip.
It's not about your dancing at all. But I'm also very shy.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
People would never.
Right?
Yeah. I'm also very.
That's why you have an alter ego. Okay, so I gathered that you quit your civilian job, your real job. What led you to make this decision to go out on your own and just go full force entrepreneur?
Well,
kudos, by the way.
Thank you. I was a personal shopper at a department store for 4 years, and that job is not the type of job that you can sit down at a desk and multitask and do other stuff at the same time, So it was really hard trying to balance. First of all, one thing about my personality and just my makeup is that I can't I don't function in the night. Like I need sunlight to activate my brain cells.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So when it gets dark outside, nothing works. Like I literally got to go to sleep and wake. I'd rather wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and start writing than be up at midnight writing. I can't. Nothing works for me.
I mean, they say all the successful people get up early, so
yeah.
there you go.
I definitely wake up early. So see, at a retail job, stores are closing at 8, 9 o'clock at night. By the time you get home, you're drained, and you've been standing all day, running around, doing all of the stuff. So it was like 8 hours there, 1 hour there, 1 hour back home, 10 hours out of your day, just,
given to somebody else.
Yeah, just thrown away. And creatively, it was hard for me to really capitalize off of my ideas and everything being there. And on top of that, I was making more money outside of work than I was at work.
Yep. They say that's usually when people decide to hang it up. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and I stayed because I definitely like security, the benefits, the all of the insurances and all of that stuff. But after a while, it's like I just and I was just slacking anyway, period. I was late, I was calling out, I was trying to fit like my tour and stuff. This was like 2 years ago when I first went on tour. I was trying to fit all of that in the midst of my schedule. So it was just time to go. Like, and you knew it,
Yeah,
and it's scary as hell because you keep on trying to figure out how to balance. But I'm the type of I worked very well under pressure. So I already knew that if God forbid anything was to happen where things weren't going that great after I quit, I'm just going to figure out how to, get another dollar. Like I just worked very well under pressure.
That's just life. I mean, there's this business podcast that I listen to. And they say, what's the worst that could happen if you decide to go after your dreams?
Yeah.
And it doesn't work out. You can just go back and get another job.
Yeah.
But you have to try.
Yep.
To see if it works out. But most people are so afraid of failure that they don't even leave the nest. They just stay where they are and then they regret it on their deathbed. So kudos to you for...
But then on the other hand, yeah, that's great advice. And I do believe in that. And I do agree with that. But then also, I do feel like there's so much pressure these days from people thinking that they're supposed to leave their job. And maybe they're not, there's some situations where I really think that people should stay working.
But that's the thing, like people we're always going to have entrepreneurs and the employees.
Yeah.
There are some people that are perfectly fine with being employees. Yes, stay there. Yeah. Don't go leaving. But then there are people that actually have a dream or they have other things that they want to do and they let fear keep them where they are when they could just do their research. And you don't have to do it overnight. Look at you. You took your time before you got to this place today. You don't have to do it overnight. You just need to have a plan. And then once we're never ever sure about anything in life, but you still have to like take the risk. I mean, you have to be a risk taker. If you're not a risk taker, then yes, please stay an employee because you don't want to, because those people end up just having crazy failures and committing suicide. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. Because I have friends right now who they have great careers. And not saying that everybody who has a great career should not leave, because I've even heard those success stories.
Yeah, but there are plenty of people that become millionaires in their own right, but they stayed at their job until they felt secure enough to leave.
Yeah, but there's just some people who don't know what they want to do, but just feel that they shouldn't be working for somebody else, and now they're trying to like force it.
Nah.
And I'm like, don't do that.
That's not smart.
Exactly.
That's not smart. You gotta have some kind of a plan. But
or a dream or something.
Yeah, you have to have something. You don't just go jumping out and saying, hey, let's see what happens. I mean, unless you have enough savings that can float you until you figure it out. But yeah, I see what you're saying, though. So you used to have a podcast called So Shameless with Tahoe, bless his heart. I really enjoyed listening to it until you signed off. And then I was like, I'm not into this anymore. But I saw that you went back on as a guest host. Are you planning on starting your own podcast in the future? Like
probably not a podcast, but some sort of show or platform like I do, I love the engaging with people. I love hearing people's stories.
So like a live or something?
I don't know. I'm
I
trying
think
to figure
YouTube
it
Live
out.
will be for you, because that's where you can interact with your followers. They even give you donations and stuff. There's this lady on there that like racks it in.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I
You
know.
gotta tell me who that is.
Look
so that
at
I can...
her name is Shira7.
Oh, I never heard of her.
She also she's a gold digging coach, but
oh, that's funny.
But you should look into YouTube Live. I think that'll be in your lane based on what you just told me.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think is a misconception about women who capitalize on their relationships with men?
I think that people think that they're the deceptive ones and that they're the predators, when in reality, most of us are just responding to being preyed on and being and trying to be manipulated, because a little while ago I made a post and said, like, we really have the power, right? And I said, don't give these guys your power. Like, you got to keep your foot on your neck at all times, because every single time I've tried to, and I don't even like to use this particular word when I'm saying this, but every single time I tried to be genuine and go in naturally and with no,
intentions or expectations.
Yeah, and no boundaries and no rules and no this and no that. Every time I've gotten slapped in the face, right? So then, I think Tahoe even went in the comments and was like, but the tea is that y'all give us the power and then get mad at us, like whatever the case is. And
Tahoe.
So my response to him was, this is the thing. We don't walk around knowing, we know, but we don't walk around with the intentions to use this power for evil.
Exactly. Only men do that.
So while we possess this power, but we're not trying to use it against you. But now y'all are so afraid of it that now you're trying to take it from me.
Yep.
Now I'm on the defense and now it's a war because I wasn't even trying to use this on you. It's almost like having like a gun or a weapon on your hip, and it's for one thing. It's
to defend yourself.
Right. Like, I'm only using it in the case that you, like whatever, but you're so scared of it that now you want to take it from me to the point where now I'm like, now I'm ready to shoot you.
Exactly. They will lie, steal, kill just to get it. And it's crazy. But I think it's all projection anyway, because if guys were us, they would literally use the power for evil.
Exactly.
So they think that's what we would do.
Yeah.
So they project that feeling onto us. And then now here we are.
Yeah. So I think that when people try to make it seem like women are, like women just walk around trying to capitalize. Even in the book, I tell people, in the book, it says, these rules are not to be used on your true love. These rules are not to be used for a real, genuine relationship.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, these are for the, I'm not looking for anything serious type dudes. Oh, I just want to be friends. Oh, I just want to do this. These are for the married
Which is pretty much every guy you meet until they decide to take it to the next level. So yeah, that makes sense.
And then there's an abundance of married men who are still on the market.
Yep.
There's an abundance of guys who are in relationships that are still in the market, like they just don't want to stop racking up the women. So especially if you got another situation going on, I'm definitely capitalizing.
Exactly. And then they want to get mad. Like, what's in it for me?
Yeah, there's no, like, where's the genuineness if I can only have you part-time anyway?
Exactly. Like, just go cry to your mom. But so what is one misconception people have about you?
I think that one of the misconceptions that people have about me is that I'm with all the whole shit. I'm with all the get money shit. Like,
are you?
No.
Just checking.
You're right. People definitely get the wrong idea of my messages. First of all, there's a lot of things to unpack in just that alone. Number one, they think that I'm the type of person that really is okay with you going to fuck for $2,000. Like, I'm not really with that. Like, I've never been the girl to like say, let me go fuck this nigga real quick so that I could get $2,000, I could get $100, or I could get $500, or whatever the case is. That's never been my style whatsoever. Now, I know people who do that, and hey, that's on them. But that's not really what I promote, you know? I don't really promote that. I'm just saying if somebody want to fuck with you, they should be doing something for you. They should be doing something to, you know, show you some sort of
benefit
interest.
your life.
Yeah, like, but not necessarily go prostitute. That's number one. Number two is people definitely confuse hoe with freak. They think that I'm the type of person that's just out here sucking dick, fucking doing all of this crazy stuff, whatever. Which, of course I suck dick. Of course I have sex. But like I am not the girl who just gonna meet a dude, suck his dick, and call it a day and be like, oh, that's regular. You know, for me personally, I joke about this all the time, like online, about how much I hate sucking dick. Do I do it? Absolutely. But people confuse, you know, what I talk about with being like this freak girl who is just so sexual and always trying to have sex or whatever, just because I talk about it. So now guys imagine that I'm out here sucking like a whole bunch of dick, having a whole bunch of sex.
Well, isn't that what they always do? Again, projecting. That's what they would do in your situation.
That's not true. And those are definitely some of the things that people think that I'm always about, which is sex 24/7 and prostitution, like literal prostitution, which, hey, like I said, if you can get that, I know people who be like, oh, you know what? He got a check for me. I'm about to go fuck him. Especially because they do it with ball players. They do it with rappers. They do it with, you know.
But you don't have a problem with that.
Right.
It's because that's them. But you would do it yourself.
Exactly. I've never done that.
Okay. Yeah. So you've never I guess somehow we're all prostitutes. No, I've done a form of it, but in that direct, just
like
the transactional thing. No,
like some money on a nightstand.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I've
had sex with people because they were giving me money, and I've had sex with people knowing that if I had sex with them, I was going to get money, and maybe not.
But it wasn't like a business transaction discussed in advance. Okay.
Yeah.
But people think that's who you are. I get it. All right, misconceptions. But you've disproven them. So woohoo. So we were talking about how somehow you became named the hoe coach. What made you decide to own it?
Okay, so one day, some dude, I was saying something about something, I can't remember. And this dude says, you're like a hoe coach. And I was like, oh, snap, that's kind of catchy. I like it. And I ran with it because I'm not insulted or offended by the word hoe because I take the power away from it. Like, I don't give you the opportunity to call me a hoe and I get mad about it because I know what you're trying to do. Because they call you a hoe for everything. They call you a hoe for fucking. They call you a hoe for not fucking. They call you a hoe for fucking one person. They call you a hoe for fucking 20 people. So I just was like, I don't really care about that word anymore because, and there's plenty of stuff that I've done that was some whole shit. And there's plenty of stuff that I know that other people have done that was some whole shit. And it's like, I feel like to a certain degree, you know, anybody could be a hoe even without having sex with a lot of people. Like, let's say, for example, let's say a girl is with a dude for a little while and then she goes and she has sex with his brother after. Like, they broke up or whatever and then she gets with his brother. That's kind of like some hoe shit. She could have sex with only 2 people. So technically you're not a hoe because it's not about quantity, but it's about the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, why would you get with his brother? Like, huh? You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's some people that just, I mean, hey, if that turns out to be your soulmate, cool. You proving us all wrong. But 9 times out of 10, it don't usually happen like that. So it's kind of like, I believe that there's just some people that you could that just are off limits and that you could save. I just believe that everybody is not worth, you know, that line crossing. So, you know, now granted, some people would be like, oh, if it was the other way around, you know, a guy will fuck your sister in a minute. But why would your sister fuck your ex?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's just so much to unpack there. So you decided to own it because you figured you can just give girls advice on hoeing?
Yeah, but not hoeing, but what they consider hoeing is not really hoeing, but it's still the advice that I would give.
Yeah.
Like, so whatever advice that I give that has anything that's not in a guy's favor is considered a hoe.
Oh, because it doesn't help the men.
Exactly. So somehow you're a hoe. So, okay, you want to call us hoes because we want you to take us out. You want us to call you hoes because we want you to spend some money. Or you want to call us hoes because, we
want something out of a relationship.
Yeah. Or because we had sex on the first night or this or that, whatever. All right, fine. So I kind of just ran with it. And it was just, the moniker was a little risque and people... It stood out. So
yeah.
It did help me in the long run. But then I started dropping it later on because people just started getting the total wrong idea about what my message was. So I had to chill out.
So you just decided to fall back on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you offer one-on-one sessions?
I have this... I call them Cutty calls.
Mm-hmm.
It's a phone service. Like, basically, they can book a half an hour or 1 hour session with me, and they can talk about whatever they want. Some people talk about guys. Some people talk about career. Some people talk about life, their family, whatever they want to talk about, they can talk about.
Okay.
But my schedule has been really, really tight lately, so I haven't had the schedule.
Yeah, you're promoting your book. Your book tour.
But I'm definitely gonna get back to it. The button is on my page, on my Instagram page. It says
we're gonna plug that at the end here.
Yeah.
So, but do you have any ideal people that you prefer to talk to, or are you just open to whoever books you?
No, I don't. I just ask. They just do like a little questionnaire in the beginning, so I know exactly what they want to talk about. But I just want everybody to know I'm not a professional. I'm not a doctor.
Disclaimer.
I'm not an astrologer, because people hit me for a lot of astrology talk. I mean, I do speak about astrology extensively online, but I don't want people to think that I'm going to sit there and do their birth chart with them.
Lord, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. So then there's some things that the things are a little bit too serious for me.
Too heavy.
Yeah. So
they need to seek a professional.
Yeah. But that's, and I'm that person who kind of pushes them and encourages them to go. Because I'm very big on therapy. Like,
I noticed you mentioned that on the podcast with Tahoe. Yeah,
I'm very big on therapy. So I at least open up that I'm like the gateway for them to go talk
to someone.
And tell them like what's the first step and what they should do.
Okay, cool. So we talked a little bit about your book, The M in Man is for Money, and now the reloaded version. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about it? Because I'm sure they're gonna need to get this book to level up.
Yeah. The M in Man is for Money Reloaded it's a woman's guide on how to handle men and money in dating and relationships.
Okay.
The gist of it is about women not being comfortable with having conversations with men about not only money, but anything.
What they want, their expectations.
They are so nervous. They are so uncomfortable. They're so apprehensive. They do not know how to ask, how to receive, how to negotiate. Nothing. Everything is so scary for them. And I have all of these elements to the book for people to kind of start changing their mindset or being open
because we have been brainwashed into putting ourselves last and everybody else first.
Exactly. So that's the gist of it. It's had such an amazing response. It is really helping so many women. I've gotten so many success stories. People are coming to me like, oh my God, this book really changed my life. I started asking, I started receiving, I started accepting this, that, whatever. And things are so
it's amazing the things women are putting up with, because I mean, you're not the only one out here that's like empowering women. There are plenty of women. It's a movement now. And there are plenty of women that are listening and they're calling in or emailing or whatever, thanking whoever the person is and telling their stories. And you hear these stories and I'm just like, wow, women are really putting up with a lot.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But it's very hard for certain women to like teach other women that they should, like, there's not a lot of me's out there, because although there are, like, let's say, for example, people are starting to feel that people are starting to get that erupted in them, like based on like a new city girls movement. I need the guys to give me this, that, whatever. But even that is unrealistic.
Exactly.
Because you're not about to tell no dude, oh, you better give me $5,000. You know, like, or you better give me some money. Or like, it doesn't really work like that in real life.
No,
you know?
no.
Now, granted, for some people do that, but they're successful. So you want to make sure, like, this book is geared more towards, there's a wider range and wider spectrum, because it's more about the confidence than anything, because you may not run into a guy that's going to be able to give you 5,000 in cash or a $5,000 bag, but you still got to be comfortable with being able to talk money with your boyfriend.
Exactly. And talk about your needs and expectations.
So you want to make sure that if you move in with your boyfriend and y'all both got regular jobs, like, y'all are on the same page as far as expectations financially for this household, you know, where women are not comfortable even having that conversation. So that's what, you know, my book talks about, relationships as well. So
perfect. And you're touring. Do you have upcoming dates, locations?
In Chicago right now.
Okay.
That's this Saturday. Detroit is July 6th. Charlotte, July 13th.
So this Saturday, June 29th.
Yep.
Okay, 2019. Okay.
Yeah, and then July 6th is Detroit, July 13th is Charlotte. I think after that, the next one is Baltimore, DC. New York is fully sold out. I can't add another person in there.
I love it. I love the response that you're getting.
Yeah.
And of course, when you give us your details at the end of the show, they can go onto your social media and buy tickets.
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah. But, you know, you told a story on your podcast of how you used to take care of men and then it switched. Can you, because I was like, what? Can you give us just a little bit, you know, background story on that? Because you were saying that the reason why they're gold diggers, you know, I'm paraphrasing here. The reason why they're gold diggers is because the women are tired of paying.
I used to pay back in the day. I talk about this at the book tour all the time, because girls are so scared to admit that they're sugar mamas. I'm like, listen, I used to be a sugar mama. Whatever dude, you know, wanted to be in my back pocket and he ain't going nowhere, and I wanted him to, I found me a cute guy with a nice body, good sex, and I could keep him around by buying him stuff and him being around. I was doing that. And it wasn't until 21 that I met a guy who was not so cute, not so, physically attractive, but he showed me a great time and he paid for me and he gave me money. And I was like, oh, snap.
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Yeah, I had no clue that there were guys out there with money. I was like, whoa. So once that happened, then that kind of just really changed everything. And I was able to make the switch.
Yep, switch. Ladies, you hear that? You can switch. So what's the most money you've ever made from a boyfriend or sugar daddy?
I couldn't count from a boyfriend because
ballpark.
No. I'm saying for a boyfriend, it's so continuous that I never really quantified it. But like even now, I broke up with my boyfriend back in January. He still sends me thousands of dollars.
Ew. Of course you give the secret in the book, right? So ladies, go get the book so you can learn how to get your ex to keep sending you money.
He's still and I guess it's more of his way of trying to get me back, because he thinks that's what he needs to do to like reconcile, but our problems stem way deeper than that. But as far as a sugar daddy, I talk about that in the book. I think one sugar daddy, he gave me like $50,000.
Nice.
Over a course of time, not at the same time.
Yeah.
And that was back when I was like much younger. Like I said, the sugar daddy era has kind of ended for me, and I talk about that in the book as well, how like that time comes to an end for most of us, because there's not too many grown-ass women who's walking around with a sugar daddy, but they just get with a guy who got money or who's gonna take care of them. So
you level up, you graduate to other things. Okay.
So about $50,000 for when I was in that era.
Still sugaring.
But definitely way more than that from a boyfriend. Because if I tried to say that he only gave me $50,000, he would be like, bitch, where? Like, I give you way more than that. You know?
I always say girlfriends and wives cost way more. And guys seem to have it backwards. Like, no, you end up spending way more money when we're together. Because, you know, we're together.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sure you've made some mistakes. What's the biggest one you made in your dating life?
Not making a guy court me. Like, every single time I tried to just go with the flow. Oh, he don't have to, you know, I don't want him to think that I'm
only in it for the money.
Yes, or, you know, I'm trying to use any rules on him or anything like that. Every single time I went against that, I got slapped in the face. The way that they fell back or treated me after a while was just so. And then you just are filled with regret because now they could walk around and say, oh, I ain't never had to do shit for that bitch. You know, and that fucks with me real bad.
So ladies, make your demands or, you know, requests in the beginning.
Because you don't have to actually be explicit with it. You just gotta, you could be passive with it where you just hold out until they start realizing that they got to do something to actually get you, you know, to pay them attention and stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, guys do it all the time. They do not stay in relationships that don't benefit them.
Nope.
These are facts. So, did you have any mentors growing up, you know, or did you kind of figure out life on your own? I know you talk about your grandma a lot.
Yeah. Well, my grandma probably was my biggest and only mentor that I really had. Life is my mentor, really, because like I said, I was really sheltered up until my 20s, so, or like maybe like 19. I was really sheltered. So everything that I learned and all the wisdom and everything really comes from all the mistakes that I've made. But she was definitely a big... She was
influence.
Because, and although she was not like me, she still was pretty adamant about making sure that guys do something. Because, you know, I have some...
Shout out to grandmas, man.
I have some family members that, you know, like let's say they be having like babies and stuff and still struggling. She'd be like, you cannot take that ding-a-ling to the damn grocery store. You see that girl struggling over there? You better not wind up like that. You know? So.
Yep. And you said she taught you how to save and all that good stuff. Shout out to grandmas. They're the shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was great with that.
Yeah. Okay. So most ladies are afraid to go out on their own, let alone travel on their own. And you travel a lot. You travel a lot. You're like me, and you travel alone. What advice can you give the ladies on how to get confident enough to go out alone and then, you know, eventually graduate to traveling alone?
Well, what I will say about that is that it's really not for everybody. You know, like, I don't think that traveling alone or being alone is for everyone. It's not in everybody's personality. Because just because they actually can get themselves to do it doesn't mean that they're going to enjoy it. I enjoy being alone a lot because I was
same.
Because I was an only child. And I didn't really need company to feel, you know, to be at peace or be comfortable or whatever. But I will say I don't really like traveling alone. Will I travel alone?
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, nobody likes traveling alone. It's like you do it because, you know, your friends are busy or, you know, nobody can afford it and you're not about to pay nobody's way.
Right.
Or you really just want to go to a place and you're not going to wait till some dude takes you.
Right.
You know, so... But yeah, it's better to travel with other people, obviously, because you need somebody to take those angles. You know?
Exactly. But another thing is, don't get me wrong, there's some places that I'm like, oh, I could go alone because I genuinely just want to relax. So I don't, you know, like if it's the time, like let's say after this tour, I might need to go to the Caribbean by myself and just relax, because sometimes you'll go on a trip with somebody, you just want to relax, and then they be like, oh my God, you're so boring, you wasting my money, you don't want to go out, you don't want to do nothing, and you're like, yo, I just really want the heat and the food and the drinks and the water. You know, I don't really want to do all that extra stuff. But in the new book, I give solo bar etiquette, like tips, because I basically go down I go step by step on how you can like attract men at the bar by being by yourself, and also
So you ladies better get this book.
So yeah, it wasn't in the first one. In the second one, I definitely put that. Now, as far as traveling, so definitely something like eating first would be your first step, or going to the movies by yourself or something like that. Because I go to the movies by myself.
Small.
Yeah,
well, and then movies, that's easy because
everybody's
by themselves. Yeah, everybody's by themselves anyway.
And but there's people who even won't go to the movies by themselves. I'm like, well, so with the traveling alone, people always say, like, where can I go alone? It's all about your personality. I wouldn't waste fun places that are great for girls trips or romantic vacations on, going alone just because everybody can't go. I would wait till I could get at least one other person on the same page as me. Or you open up and you start finding new friends, because you know how many people I have connected from like being on my page?
You do not have to tell me.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
Yeah. Like, find new people. A lot of my newer a lot of the people that I travel with, in the last couple of years, I've met them online.
See, there you go. You can meet girls online too.
I mean, and even me, who's like more popular, people would think that I wouldn't befriend people. I do. Like, I befriend people at my events. I befriend people online who always talk to me, like they, invite me out for drinks or this or that. Like, I've befriended a bunch of people from the internet.
Yeah. And then when you go out alone as well, like, you end up meeting new people too,
It's true.
It's true. And you have way more fun because nobody's like telling you when they want to leave, or like, you're literally on your own time schedule. So but I guess start with eating alone first, and obviously get the book so you can get those tips.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you give our, like, just a little like appetizer, give our listeners like a couple of things they need to do in order to ask for financial gifts from their sugar daddies?
Well, that's what the whole book is about. So
just like a little teaser, just like one trick.
I tell people it's all about the setup, So when you set things up with a guy, they know what you're about. So, like, let's say, for example, and you're talking about like a new guy, right?
Yeah, a new guy, yeah.
I do the hinting strategy, which is I don't ask for certain things. I just set it up. Like, let's say, for example, it's like the first time that I was in, when I met the guy who gave me the 50,000, and I didn't even mean to do this. It just literally, it was true. I had gotten a flat tire the day before I was supposed to go meet him. So I texted him. I was like, hey, sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it up tomorrow because I got a flat tire and, it's a long drive. And he said, you have a donut? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, put the donut on and drive slow and I'll get you a new tire. So I was like, oh, okay. So I put the donut on and I drove to him and he replaced all 4 tires.
Yay. Sidebar, you actually changed your own tire?
No.
Or AAA. Oh, okay. I was about to say, damn, girl.
Hell no. No.
AAA.
Yeah, somebody I can't even remember how it happened, but I think I went to like a tire shop. Like a flat fix, and just told him to put the donut on, and then
he replaced all of them. I love it.
So it's more about setting up what your need is. So like when you're on the phone with them, you could be like,
and it looks like it also has to be to their detriment of not seeing you.
Yes.
Like, but obviously not so obvious. But,
yes.
But how you guys were supposed to spend time together, and he was looking forward to seeing you, and all of a sudden this thing threw a wrench in your plans, and he was like, nah, I gotta fix this. And that's also a good way to know if a guy is into you as well, or if he's just trying to get some.
Exactly. And
awesome.
I talk about that, that I tell a guy quick, I only like guys who look out for me. People have a hard time trying to articulate how they want to let a guy know that they want them to do stuff for them, and that's my new favorite line. Like, I only fuck with guys who look out for me.
Yeah, I say other things too, like different deviations from that.
Yeah.
But it always boils down to I like money, but I don't say it out.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just say other things and watch their reaction.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, if the guy's not spending money on you, he don't like you. Anyways, and you need to move on. So what are some things women can do today to start leveling up to catch the attention of wealthy guys?
I don't think that it should be about wealthy guys. I think it
Or,
should be about
guys that will spend money on them.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. I'm happy that you asked it like that, because that is what people have in their mind. And I have these videos that say, like, we always try to go above the regular guys to the rich guys. Rich guys are 1% of, the whole population, or 1 to 2%. There's a whole bunch of regular guys in there who are not rich that will spend money. So it's not about who has money, it's about who's gonna give. So you can use these strategies on everybody, like, and anybody, because in reality, the idea of you getting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars out of a guy is very unrealistic. But if you could get a couple extra $100 a month to help with your bills, then that's such a great help. There's girls, a guy might pay your car note, he might, get your hair done for the whole month. All of that, I always say, either you're going to give me money or you're going to save me money. Exactly. Like, if I'm getting my hair done every month, or every week, or my nails, or my, my toes, my phone bill, all of these things. Right now, my ex still pays my phone bill. I'll be pissed if he stopped. And I got the money to pay it, but who the hell want to pay $200
exactly
a month?
Why spend my money when I can spend yours?
Exactly. So that's the thing.
It's really all about context and what the girl wants.
Yeah.
Like, if a girl just needs help paying her bills, obviously there are certain guys she's gonna go for.
Yeah.
But if a girl wants a certain type of lifestyle and is already accustomed to it,
yes,
then it would behoove you not to go after guys that can't even afford that luxury.
Yes.
So you got to know how to pick your target.
Exactly.
Not target. Your man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to know how to pick the guy that works for what you're trying to accomplish. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
And he's not always popular, and he's not always,
nope.
The rich popular guys are like the hardest to get.
Yeah, you don't want those anyway. Too much competition.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the worst advice you've ever gotten?
To not take anything from a guy.
Yeah. Who gave you that advice?
My mom.
Oh, no.
She's like super independent.
Oh, no.
She's like,
you know what's funny? A lot of girls get it from their moms, too, because their moms were independent.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes you get bad advice from your family.
Yeah, it's true. They're like, she's like, you need to stop taking. She's like, I can't believe you're out here taking money from men. She's like, that's a disgrace. That's disgraceful. You need to be independent. She's like, they're gonna try to control you.
I don't understand how it's disgraceful to have somebody else take care of you. What?
Yeah. She's like, because they're gonna try to control you. I'm like, but they can't, so it doesn't matter.
My mom is a super, super Christian, and she quotes in the Bible of how God tells us to take care of women. She's like, there is a passage in the Bible. I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna need you to send me that, for
That's
the pastor.
Funny. That's so
like,
funny.
My mom, even like the religious mom that she is, she still believes the guy should be taken care of.
That's really funny.
I'm gonna need that scripture. I'll quote it on the next episode or something.
Yeah.
But okay. So, sidebar. I meant to ask you this earlier. Did your job know about your alter ego life and all this other stuff?
Unfortunately, I tried to.
Unfortunately,
I tried to keep it under wraps. But the more popular I got, people started whispering. They started seeing me on the internet, like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that was you on the internet." I'm like,
wow.
"Oh Lord,
oh no, can't even be incognito anymore."
And then, like, sometimes when people would come into the store, they would be like, "Oh my God, Cutty!"
And they'd be like, "Who is Cutty?"
Right. So it was always. It started like really seeping out towards the end. I was able to keep it under wraps for like a good 2 years, but then like the last 2 years,
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's the best advice you've ever gotten?
To have gratitude, like life advice. Have gratitude, because
yes, that is very important.
I think that is probably what just allows you to continue to receive everything.
Because there are a lot of people that complain all day, every day. I'm like, damn, did anything good go for you this week?
Yeah.
So it's like, geez.
Yeah.
Dampen my spirits. But okay, if you could go back in time and talk to your 17-year-old self, what would you say to her?
Stop having sex with guys for you to like them. I mean, for them to like you.
Okay. Very, very solid advice.
I think that, in your teenage years, especially, when you're not that comfortable with yourself, you kind of lead with sex. You just think that if you give it to them, or if you give it to them, they're gonna like you. If you don't give it to them, they're gonna stop fucking with you. So you just use your body as like to navigate around these relationships, and it just doesn't work, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Solid advice. Okay, so Miss Travel Queen, what's your favorite vacation destination?
People are gonna be so surprised at it. Out of all the places that I ever gone, I think I still love the Bahamas the most.
They have beautiful water. I mean,
And food.
You can't be, I eat conch salad all day. You can't beat the Bahamas, and it's only 30 minutes away from me in Miami. So
I love the
it's
Bahamas.
perfect. It's perfect. All you need is a Bahamian sugar daddy, and you're good. Okay, so you were recently in India. That's actually on my list. And I saw on your story that you got a happy ending after a massage. Spill the tea, sis.
Oh, good.
Because I want to know how the woman I mean, I've heard stories, but I want to hear this.
Yeah. I told the full-length story on the Horrible Decisions podcast. That's the only place that I ever told it. But like to summarize what happened, we literally were going for regular massages. Like we had no intentions on doing anything else. It was like really looking for regular massages. And when I got in the room, he
it was a he.
Yeah.
Oh, this changes things.
No, my friend.
I thought it was a woman that did your massage.
No, my friend had a woman, and she was pissed that the lady asked her. She was not with that shit. Mine was a man. Yeah, because I never shared it on the internet.
Like, okay. Well, I can already figure out how that worked out. So if you had a woman, would you have said yes?
Yeah, it's only the hands. Like it's only the hands. They're not eating you out or actually having sex with you. So
that's boring.
So people are thinking that I had sex with some stranger at the massage parlor, but no, it's just his hands. He just playing with you until you come.
Did you do a good job?
Yeah, I came.
Okay. I mean, it's still boring. But, at least you got yours, sis. Yeah. Okay. What do you do in your free time?
I wish I had free time.
What is free time?
I love to eat. To be honest, it's my shit. I love eating. Like that's why I'm
a foodie too.
I'm gaining more and more and more weight. I can't.
I know you had a trainer at some point. Are you still with that, or is she yelling at you?
She's definitely yelling at me.
I mean, life is short.
Yeah, it's sad.
Enjoy your food. I mean, you can always work on it. And it's a lifestyle thing anyway.
Yeah,
you're not gonna like work out for a week and lose all this weight. If you go back to eating crap, you're just gonna gain it back. So it's just one day at a time. Watch what you eat, yada yada yada. But okay, so aside from your book, do you have a favorite book?
My all-time favorite book, and everybody's always like, what? I'm like, yes, it's still this is The Coldest Winter Ever.
Oh my god, this is the second time someone has said that book on the show, so I'm gonna have to. That's on my list now. Are you reading anything right now?
It's so old, but I just love it. Right now, I'm not reading because I'm back in writing mode, and I don't read when I'm in writing mode because I don't like to get ideas from anywhere else. But I do listen to a lot of audiobooks, and my favorite are like memoirs. Listening to people's stories. So I like to do the audiobook. And I have an audiobook. Mine is an audio, so people really like to listen to it.
Yours is an audio and ebook and the print.
Yeah, but they love the audiobook because I'm reading it,
Yeah.
So that's
why they get to hear your voice and firsthand.
Yeah. That's why I like audiobooks, so that I can hear other people read their stories.
Awesome. So favorite movie of all time?
Bridesmaids.
Really?
Yes.
I never would have guessed that from you. It's like, but that was a funny movie. I love comedies.
Yes, it's like my favorite. I just watch it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I completely understand that because I have my favorites too. Okay, favorite TV show.
Well, my old favorite TV show was Girlfriends. And then my new favorite TV show is Being Mary Jane. But I mean, it's off now. but it was still by the same people. So,
wasn't it like on and then off and then on
yeah,
again, and now it's off again?
yeah, it's done. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I tried to get into it, but
yeah,
I couldn't. But
yeah.
I mean, shout out to Gabrielle. Okay, pet peeves.
I hate people who are not authentic and transparent. It really bothers me more than anything because I'm just like, be comfortable with yourself. Like it brings you so it creates so much intimacy when people are authentic and transparent.
Yep.
Like I
Yep.
can't get close to you if I feel like you being phony or you got this wall up
Wall up.
because you don't want people to perceive you or look at you or whatever a certain way. That shit gets on my nerves. So
Yeah.
that's definitely one of.
So be your authentic self. Okay. So please leave our listeners, both the guys and girls, with some parting advice.
Something that I've been asked a lot and been speaking about lately with a lot of people is this. This is the advice I want to give everybody. Cross that bridge when you get there, because stop worrying about the last step and start with the first step. Because I mean, from guys to girls, everybody who have dreams, who have wants, wishes, all of these things that they want to do, and the first thing that they talk about is what is going to hold them up or what hurdle that they got to figure out. And I'm like, you worried about that, and that is so far down the line that you are stopping yourself from starting because of that, and you really could figure that out when you get there. So like, even for example, because I write, so many people are like, oh my God, I need advice on how to, I'm trying to figure out if I want to go to a publisher, if I want to self-publish. I was like, you have no manuscript. You have no book. Like, so you need to worry about that after. You need to worry about writing, because right now, all you're doing is stopping yourself from writing, thinking about what you want to do when you have it and you have nothing. So please start. I tell people, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anybody who wrote a book. I didn't know anybody at the publisher. I didn't know anybody in any sort of even remotely close to being a writer or have written anything. And I wrote, and then I started figuring out step by step every single thing that I learned, every single thing that I know. I learned from the internet. I researched. I asked people.
People say all the time, yes, the internet.
Do not stop yourself from doing something because you don't know how you're going to do it. Do what you can, and then you start finding out the answers to every single problem that you have.
I love it. Yeah, because the internet is full of free resources. I mean, there are people that make money off taking stuff on the internet and putting it into a book, because people don't want to do their research. It's crazy. So like, worry about stuff when it happens, but work on today, because we're not even promised tomorrow. So I don't know why you're thinking all the bad things that could happen. It's
exactly.
Crazy. All right. So where is the best place our listeners can find out more about you, to buy your book, buy your tickets for your tour, spend money on you? Because we're generous on this.
Oh, thank you. Instagram is my home that I've settled at now. So I used to be on Twitter a lot. I mean, I'm still on Twitter, but not as active. But I'm definitely on Instagram often.
And what's your Instagram?
It's Passport_Cutty, Cutty.
Okay.
And all the resources are there. My website, my books, where you could get them, the tour. I have a masterclass on how to self-publish. I have a masterclass on credit. I have a masterclass. Yeah. Like,
get it. I love it.
I do like all these videos. You could sift through my page, look at all the videos. I started adding some things to YouTube, like some different type of content. So my YouTube is Passport Cutty as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it underscore or just
Passport? No, just Passport Cutty.
I'm gonna go follow you now.
But then, so now I'm just trying to figure out how to bring people more and more and more content. So that's always going to be, uploaded. And then I'm working on my new book, which I need to talk to the agent again before I reveal that it's absolutely going to be this.
Okay. But you're working on a new book. We're just going to keep it at that. But if they follow you, then they'll see all your future plans and everything.
Yes. And if anybody wants to get in contact with me, they can I mean, I try to answer as many DMs as I can, but I can't always get to them. But people email and DM. I do respond as much as I possibly can. And if I don't, just send it again.
Yep. Keep pestering her I did.
The
and
more
now she's on the show.
Yeah, the more it gets to the top, I'm like more inclined to open it back up, So
yeah,
like,
yeah,
right.
Okay. But you should definitely look into the YouTube live.
I
feel
will.
like that would be good for you.
I will,
because people already. Do you go live on Instagram?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, so people already are on your
They
live.
love
So just
live.
head over to YouTube and they actually tip you while you're live, so
Wow.
you can make money for being live.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, look into it. Cutty, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming on the show and dropping some knowledge. I've been following you. I will continue to stalk you.
Thank you.
And maybe the next time I'm in New York, we can have drinks or something.
Oh, sure. If I'm there.
If you'll have me.
Of course. If I'm there, you got me.
All right, cool. Well, I'm going to let you get to the rest of your day. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
You. Bye.
Well, that was so amazing. You guys don't know, I've been trying to get this lady on the show for a long time, and I'm so glad she finally came on the show. Thank you so much to Passport Cutty. Guys, make sure you go get her book, The M in Man is for Money. I just ordered the ebook on my iPad right as we were on the show talking, so you make sure you go get it as well. Until next time, bye!
Be sure to follow the show on Twitter at T.S.E.G Podcast and on Instagram at T.S.E.G.P. Join our Patreon page for exclusive videos on dating, sugaring, and freestyling tips for both the gentlemen and ladies. Patreon.com/TSEGP. Follow your host Vivian on Twitter and Instagram at Exotic Vivian. Please leave the show a 5-star rating on iTunes. Until next time, keep it sexy and stay receptive.